Need to get a much bigger horn for this thing. Why do I like riding bikes? A number of reasons is the answer, which I will address in a series of videos where I demonstrate those reasons. I'm out on the road on bikes about a year, as of last week I think, and out on my own bike probably just over 9 months. And there are a number of reasons why I like doing it. For a bit of background, I own a car. I've commuted from roughly where you see me commuting, the wilds of Kildare, into Dublin for 8 or 9 years. And so last year I took a couple of months off work just for shits and giggles, because work were gracious enough to let me. One of the things I said I would bucket list was get out on a bike, see if I liked it, and it turns out I did quite a bit. So my dad used to ride a bike way back when. He rode a little scooter from town out to Kildare, and my uncles were on bikes and all sorts of that, but I wasn't that into it. Like, I was around bikes, but I never had ridden one aside from up and down a road without a spot of gear on me, because they're only on the roads. So I said I'd give it a go for Realsies. Did the license, did the IBT, did the whole business, and when I went back to work I started coming in. And one of the things I did, and what I'll cover today, is my own feeble attempts at filtering. And just to give you an idea where I'm at, if you're not familiar with Dublin, this is the canal, the South Circular Road in Dublin, which if you're in a car at any kind of rush hour, morning or evening, is a fucking disaster, because you're just sitting behind a load of cars. But the thing is, the cars are all going in one direction. So what you do if you're on a bike is you sit in the traffic, you wait for somebody to not be indicating right in front of you, and you overtake like 100 cars at once. And that's my effort at filtering. I'm not doing filtering properly just yet. I spent about 6 months of driving the bike like it's a car. So I do a tiny bit of it, and it's mostly along here, and it cuts my commute down. Like last week I left the office at 5:15 and got home at about 5:45, which is doing extremely well. So my commute takes about an hour no matter what time I leave, which is fantastic if I'm on the bike. Whereas in the car, it could take, the worst it's ever taken me in the car is 2 hours. That was particularly bad, but it could routinely take an hour and a half in the car. And it's this kind of shit here, just sort of sitting there waiting for some fucking agent to go through lights, and 4 cars get through the lights, and then the rest of the line stops, and then somebody's pulling out from a fucking house, and all sorts of annoyances. But this is actually the quickest way on a bike, and that was one thing I had to get used to, is the quickest way in a car, not in a bike. So I guess today's why do I like riding bikes is the time it saves. You know, on particularly heavy traffic days, gives me an extra hour in my day, which you can't really put a price on, but I've somehow managed with many euros worth of bike gear. So look at me. Ew, can't do that in the car. That's proper filtering, look at that.